We are live. I'd like to welcome everyone to another episode of Heart to Heart with Bree. Tonight's guest is my old neighbor and friend, Nikki. I met Nikki when she was about 15 or 16 years old.
Yeah.
And I was telling her the last time that I saw her, she was about to go into boot camp. That
Mhm.
was years ago. Nikki, please
Yes.
introduce yourself to the guests, to the viewers. I'm sorry, to the viewers.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, my kid and my dog is in the background, so excuse me. Um, so like you said, Nikki here. I am 41 years old. I am a soldier and a mom. I currently live in Massachusetts, of all places. Can you believe that? But I don't know what else to say about myself. Like that's like the big thing. I'm a mom soldier, and I'm just here to conversate with Miss Bree and catch up.
You know, when you said 41, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, she did not say that because I'm thinking I
Yeah.
was around that age, you know,
Hmm.
or a little bit younger than that. It's
Yeah.
crazy to even think it goes by so quickly. So
It does.
tonight, Nikki and I will be talking about what are the key components of a romantic relationship.
Oh my gosh. You just have to, mommy is on the podcast.
It's okay if you
Mom's
hold her, that's fine.
okay.
She needs you right now.
Okay.
So so some of the I looked through AI and I looked through other online resources,
Mhm.
and they were all pretty much saying the same thing. So some of the core components that I found were communication, which is
Okay.
openly and honestly sharing feelings, needs, and thoughts with a partner who listens and who values your perspective. What is your take on that, Nikki?
Hmm. So I know what that says, and I know what it's supposed to mean, but I don't know.
You've not experienced that.
I no, no. I might have had one time, maybe I experienced it, and I was in Iraq, so I didn't really at first take it seriously until we came home, and he still continued to do those things and communicate and everything. But I don't. It's so hard to find what that definition is.
You know something? And I told you right before we went live, as I
Hmm.
prepared for this show, I said it to you. Now I understand why I've had so many failed
Yeah.
relationships
Yes.
because
Yes. Yes.
I in my head thought that
Hmm.
I was in a romantic situation, but I
Right.
did not experience any of these things, not even when I was married. And I was married for almost 25 years. So
Hmm.
I'll move on to the next component, which is trust. Having confidence in your partner's honesty, loyalty, and reliability. And I'm saying to myself, what is that? What is your take on that?
Trust. Oh my goodness. Trust. To me, trust is earned just like respect.
Yes,
So you know you want to go into something um wholeheartedly trusting in the person. That's how I mean that's how I always did it. Like
yes,
I'm going to trust you until you do something to maybe not trust you.
yes.
Right. And I'm such a I guess I have such a big heart that even when something's in my face and telling me, oh, this person's doing it, I'm still trusting what they say until I see it myself. And sometimes it's so stupid. Like,
But
you know,
I don't think it's, I don't, I, you know what? I think that because you sound like me, when
mhm,
we love. And
mhm,
we want to believe the best in a person,
yeah,
whether it's there or not, but we are choosing to see them for what we would like them to be which is not
Mhm.
always what we truly need. So
Mhm.
now let's
Mhm.
talk about respect. And it says here respect having a genuine, positive regard for your partner, their beliefs, and their boundaries, feeling that respect in return. I said to myself, what is that? There
Yeah.
because another thing I hadn't experienced.
I don't think like I was telling you before we went live, I was with my kid's father for 10 years. I don't think I felt respected the whole time.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't feel like I felt respected the whole time cuz he stop it baby. Go over there. He didn't respect my feelings, didn't respect my profession, didn't respect my boundaries, anything. Anything. He did what he wanted to do. And no matter how I expressed what I felt, he just didn't care. So, in a sense, he didn't respect me as a person or a woman or his partner. That's
You know, I Nikki, I'm very prayerful about the topics that I do. And
mm-hmm,
what I'm hoping for is that the women, and for the men too, because sometimes they may experience what we as women do,
mm-hmm,
but I want people to really and truly think about the relationship that they're in or the relationship that they're about to go into. I
mm-hmm.
think sometimes it's better to be alone than to go into a situation where you'll be hurt once again. So these are the things that I'm hoping that we will be all looking for if we're planning to be in a relationship. And the next component is honesty, being open and truthful with each other about our daily lives, goals, and feelings. What's your take on honesty?
I sometimes wonder if we really want someone to be honest with us.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the moment that they're honest and you don't like what they're saying, then that causes an issue, right?
Would you say because would you say that because maybe we have our self-worth tied up into this? It's like, okay, if a person is being honest and it's like, what, I'm seeing someone else, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not in love with you, i
Mm-hmm.
I need a break from this situation. Do you think that we look at ourselves and we think, what, if he does not want me the way I want him, then what does that say about me?
Right.
Maybe I'm not worthy of his love. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm just not. We
I've had
start
all
to
those
tear
questions.
ourselves down.
I'm so sorry.
That's
Hers.
okay. That's
I've
okay.
I've had all those questions. Even a previous relationship when Steve Harvey's Think Like a Man came out.
Yes,
So, I asked this man, I'm like, so do you love me or are you in love with me? Right? Because that's two different things. Loving somebody and being in love with somebody is two different things.
yes.
And his response was, I love you, but I'm not in love with you.
That's hurtful.
I was like, what? So what are we doing? Because anytime that you come from overseas or whatever, we are together. We say I love you when we get off the phone. So what do you mean that you're not in love with me? Oh, I I was like, that's what I get for asking the question. And he
But
was
I think
fine.
it's the right. I think we need
Yeah.
to know these things.
Yeah.
As painful as it may be, I think the truth is necessary in order for us to move on with our lives if necessary.
Oh, yeah. It definitely put it in a different light. And I stopped dealing with him because I mean you're stringing me along at this point and you're playing with my emotions because I'm thinking it's more than what it is. So yeah, you have to be ready for the
Yeah.
answer that you get if you want honesty in a relationship. I mean, even yeah, you have to be ready for the answer that you get.
And Nikki, this happens also in marriages.
Hmm.
You have people who've been married for donkey years,
Yeah.
and it's like emotionally there's no connection.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I think for the most part, women were afraid to hear the truth. And I think that it's so, hello, Angie, thank you so much for tuning in. I think it's just so, and I remember right before making that decision, like to just walk away from the marriage. I
Mm-hmm.
remember my ex-husband saying to me, you know, I know you don't love me and I don't love you. And I think he was expecting a reaction.
Mm.
But I allowed myself to feel the pain of those words,
Mm-hmm.
because to be honest with you, no, I did not love him. But, I never said it to him, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So when he said it to me, I felt like he wanted to hurt me.
Oh
But
yeah.
I allowed myself to feel that pain because I felt like, you know what? It's like I was telling myself, take that stab because you need to feel the pain of it because he's telling you exactly what he feels and you don't need to make an excuse. He's not saying this out of anger,
Mm-hmm.
wants you to know exactly how he feels. And yes, it was painful, but it helped me to just, it was the straw that broke the camel's back, as they say. I
Mm-hmm.
knew then and there that, you know what, this is it. So I'd like to address some other important elements, such as
Sure.
autonomy and independence.
Mm-hmm.
Maintaining your own identity and having time for separate interests while still connected. I think a lot of
Mm.
us as women, because we may not trust the guy we're involved with, we're afraid to be apart. We don't want to be disconnected in any way. We want to be around this person all the time. But I think it's healthy to have time apart. I mean, what's your take on that?
So my current relationship, we are long distance.
Okay.
Um, like 15 hours. Uh,
Okay.
so as much as I would love to just be up underneath this man all the time, I think that would literally make me not want to be with him sometimes because I'm I don't think that I'm really the I don't want to say lovey dovey type, but I like to give him his space. I have my
Yes.
space, and then when we're together, that's nice. And just the distance now has made it me even think, like, man, I really don't have to be with someone every single day. Like, I can talk to you on the phone and be just fine. And then when I'm in your presence,
You
that
enjoy
makes it,
it. You
yeah, I
enjoy that.
enjoy
You
it
enjoy
more
that
than,
moment.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we as women, honestly, I mean, I've been on my own for the past few years. Being on my own has taught me a lot about myself
Mm-hmm.
because what I realize now in the past, I was a very codependent individual. I
Mm-hmm.
thought that I had to be in a relationship. The thought of being by myself was actually frightening to me, but
Yeah.
I found that it's something that I've done and I've actually come to enjoy my own company, and it's given me the opportunity to learn a lot about myself. Let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about safety.
Mm.
Feeling secure and protected both emotionally and physically in the relationship. That was another thing I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
It's like not
I I
intrusive.
I didn't know what that was at all. Like I mean I feel like I'm getting there now
Yes.
with my current one because it's such a different person. Like
Yes.
in safety, I didn't have someone just the simple things of moving me from the edge of the street.
Okay, I think Nikki's having a technical problem. Okay, we'll give Nikki a couple minutes. Please bear with us. Okay, here we go.
Out my phone.
All right, no
Okay.
problem. So
Sorry.
just continue.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. Sorry. So the simple thing is just moving me from the edge of the street, even opening the door for me, like those simple things I didn't have before.
Yeah,
And holding my hand, like just making sure I'm right there next to him. I'm like, okay, okay, this is what that's supposed to feel like. That's what feeling safe is supposed to feel like.
yes.
This is knowing that this person is going to protect me no matter what. This I
Yeah,
was like, that's what that's supposed to feel like. Cause I didn't know. I mean, I'm not gonna say that the whole time that I was with their father
right.
that he didn't do certain things to make me feel, but it was so inconsistent. Like but this I mm,
No,
I
trust
couldn't.
me, I totally get what you're saying because it
Mhm.
made me stop and think back through my marriage, and it's like I can't say I experienced that, and I'm not saying that to badmouth him,
Mhm.
and I say to myself, well, do men know that these are things that women would like, and I'm wondering, okay, if you don't know, I mean, how do we figure this out? Because I think we'll continue to have a lot of failed relationships. Now, let's talk about support. And
Okay.
support is believing that you and your partner will be there for each other,
Mm.
offering encouragement and support for individual goals. That's another thing. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
Right. I was feeling the same way when I saw the question. I was like, support. I don't know what that is
Yeah,
because it with my career didn't understand my career, didn't
yeah.
want to understand my career. I would get promoted, and I'm like, hey, I got promoted. Look, I'm going to get promoted. Didn't even wake up to come to my promotion or watch it on
Wow.
Facebook Live, and I'm like, come on. Like this is big things in my life. Like
Yeah.
whatever you have going on, I want to be there to support you too. And now I'm like trying to take the baby steps to get there.
That's okay.
Trying to take the baby steps to actually allow someone in that does support me, that asks me how my day is, how it was work. Did do I need to talk about anything? It's different.
Yeah.
It's so different. And vice versa for him. Like he's in CDL school and I helped him study for the test. And that was long. I'm like, I'm ready to go to bed. But he needed help. So I helped him. And that's what he
Yeah.
wanted to do. He wanted to change a career. So I stood in that place for him. That's what he needed. So yeah, I'm learning that. I'm learning about that because I did not have
Look,
that.
I'm 62 years old and I'm
Hmm.
learning, like reading a lot of this stuff. I was like, wow.
Hmm.
Honestly, it really gave me something to think about. Let's talk about equality, which is having an equal say in decisions and ensuring that there is no imbalance of power. I mean,
Mm,
I said to myself, a lot of these things in theory, in my opinion, would be nice, and it's like I'm saying to myself, what would it be like to experience that in a relationship? I think I could see a relationship flourishing with these
hmm.
components that we've been talking about. What would you say about equality?
Um, I I honestly don't know, Miss Bridget. Like
Yeah,
I have tried watching other people to see how a relationship is supposed to go. And everyone's not perfect, but
yeah,
trying to see how to let the walls down to allow somebody to step in and help me because I'm so used to being the one that has to do everything
everything.
that I don't know how to let the wall down to allow someone to actually help me or to check in on me or to like anything. I'm
Yeah,
not I'm not So
Now, do
uh,
you find that because I've often heard the term, masculine women, women
yeah.
they have these masculine traits. But it's
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
believe when you see that there's no one to catch you, there's
Hmm.
no one to help you, it's like you take this role on
Hmm.
subconsciously. I think in many cases, I think it's not that you don't want to be in your feminine energy, but
Hmm.
this masculinity, I think, it's like you're doing what you feel needs to be done. I mean, would you agree?
Absolutely. Like he's even said to me, you need to relax. And I was like, what you mean? I said, I am relaxed. He was like, no, you need to relax because you're always on, okay, I'll do it, I do it, I do it. Let me do this, let me do that. And so, short story, he met my mother sooner than I wanted him to meet my mom. Okay. And me just being me, when I was dropping the kids off at her house, I'm just out getting out the car, grabbing them, taking them in the house. He was upset with me because I didn't allow him to help me at least bring their bags and anything like that. And I was like, I didn't think about it. I was like, I'm just doing. I'm just so used to doing.
What you
And
normally do. It's what you
right.
normally
And he was
do.
like, that is not what, no. He was like, your mother is not going to look at me and think that I'm just somebody to
Yeah.
sit here and not allow me to help you, that I'm just sitting here. He was like, no, he apologized to my mom. And I was like, what? He was like, that's not me at all. He was like, no. He said, so I
Yes.
apologize that she brought
Yeah.
this stuff in by herself. She moved so fast, I didn't get a chance to even get out the car all the way. So when he apologized to my mom, I was like,
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I totally understand it, Let's talk about commitment. A
mm,
conscious choice to stay with and work through challenges with
mm,
your partner. I think it must be nice to be in a situation where if a conflict comes about, you're not thinking, okay, we'll be breaking up soon,
mm,
because I don't see how we'll get past this. I like the idea of being committed where you know what, as they say, cool heads will prevail. So
yeah.
once we're calm, we can sit and have that conversation. Something I've yet to experience, but what's your take on that?
I my first time experiencing it, I was taken aback because we had a, I can't remember exactly what happened, but then he called me and was like, so do you want to talk about what happened?
Wow.
I was like actually talk about it? He was like, yeah, we can talk about it in person. So I was thrown, like really thrown back about like having an adult conversation. Cause normally it's just
Yeah.
me talking and it going in one ear and out the other. But this was like conversation. Like, this is what happened. I don't like what happened. You don't like, I was, it was pretty,
I,
I
I
was
think I
like,
think it's great. I think because that has to give you a level of security in the
hmm,
relationship. You have to feel respected,
yeah,
and valued. And I think that's what most women would like.
hmm,
So let's talk about healthy conflict resolution.
hmm,
Being able to disagree without resorting to personal attacks and working through conflicts constructively, which is what you just described.
hmm,
I think, once you hear name calling, or a person decides to go silent on you, give you the silent treatment, I think that's a language within itself.
it
I think
is.
silent treatment is telling you, you know what, I don't even give a damn. I'm not even
Hmm,
wasting my breath on you. You know,
hmm,
I think it's disrespectful. So I do think healthy conflict resolution is important. So the fact that your partner would say that to you,
hmm.
I think that says a lot. That's to me, that's the kind of relationship I would invest myself in.
But he's also done that as well, Ms. Bree. Like, he's
Yes.
also gone quiet and have me wondering like what is happening. But then he'll come back and say, I apologize for how I handled that situation.
Yes.
Because I'm really guarded, especially
Yes.
from coming from an abusive relationship. I'm really guarded on a lot of things, and if somebody says something that triggers,
I get it.
I step back and I'm like, I
I
get to
totally
going in my
understand.
head. Yeah.
I totally understand. I think communication is big. And I think,
Mm-hmm.
to the people out there feel that the silent treatment is a
Mm-hmm.
healthy response. No, it is not. Now,
It's
I
not.
get it if you say, look, right now I'm a little angry. I don't want to
Mm,
say anything. I don't
mm-hmm.
want to say anything the wrong way because I'm really angry right now. I think
Right.
that's when you take a time out and
Mm-hmm.
give yourselves a chance to cool down and then come back together to have that conversation. I do think we have to learn to respond and not be reactive.
Right.
So, I read an article in Psychology Today, and it talked about three things: authentic connection, a sense of stability, and positive responsiveness to needs. Now, let's talk about authentic connection.
Mm,
I think if we have to force the connection. Like
mm-hmm.
if you feel that this person has one foot out the door, you're doing flips, so you're doing all of this stuff trying to keep this relationship alive. It's like beating a dead horse. It's
Mm-hmm.
not an authentic connection. What's your take on authentic connection?
I feel like if you have to force it, then
It's not
it's
real.
not for you. It's not for you, and it's not the person that you need. That's not. Um, I feel like, yeah, just basically, if you have to force it and you constantly having to, you're the one that's constantly reaching out, or you're the one that's constantly engaging or starting a conversation, then why waste your time with this person?
Exactly. And especially, there are some guys, they behave as if they're doing you a favor,
Yeah,
by having a
like
conversation
like
with
they
you.
the dang on
Yeah. And
catch.
it's
Like
like,
what?
yeah, we don't.
No.
And that's where I think a healthy self esteem for us as women is so important. We have to know our value and our
Mhm.
self worth. I would not want to see anyone treated that way. I wouldn't
Mm-mm.
want my kids treated that way, and I wouldn't want to know that my kids are treating someone that way. I
Right.
think it's so disrespectful. Now let's talk about a sense of stability. If you are
Okay.
constantly frazzled, if you are never at peace, you just
Mm.
feel like you're on the verge of a nervous breakdown 24/7. I think too many of us are familiar with that feeling. I want you to
Very.
talk about the importance of a sense of stability because I think you can have that sense of stability without a relationship. If
You
you're in a
can.
relationship and you're
Yeah.
feeling frazzled and crazy, it's better to be alone to establish that sense of stability. What's your take on that?
So I would say during that relationship, I was always uneased.
Yes.
Always. Always uneased. Always trying to please somebody that could never be pleased. Right.
Yes.
The as soon as he decided to go his separate way and I was by myself, I had to really dig deep and think about why I allowed myself to go through a
Yeah.
lot of those things. And a lot of things started happening for me that was blocked while I was
Yeah.
with that person. Like I literally stopped stress eating. I don't sleep well anyway, but I
Yes.
was able to just rest some. If your mind is constantly going and wondering what next, what's going to happen next, what is this person going to come arguing with me about, what do I have to do to make this person happy? Like nothing I'm doing is making this person happy.
That's not a good feeling.
Oh,
That is a
Oh,
That is
I'm sorry I'm laughing, but she is banging on
no,
my
that's
door.
fine. That's fine. If you need her to come back in, it's fine. Because
She
trust
is.
me, I have a 4-year-old grandson. I totally get it.
You're being so rude, baby. You're being so rude. That's not nice. But yeah, if you're constantly on the fence, constantly doing stuff to put yourself in financial binds to help someone else or make someone else happy, you're you're teeter tottering
I agree.
with yourself because I did that.
Trust,
Bought
I think so
bought
many.
cars.
Yes.
I had so many cars in my name that it was ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I hope the viewers are taking note because
Yeah.
I think that a lot of us women are guilty of these things. You can't buy love. You
No.
can't make a person love you. And I think that which is leading to my next question, positive responsiveness to needs. I
Hmm.
think you should be able to say to your partner, I'm having a bad day, to get a hug, to get
Right.
that, what can I do for you? How can I be of support? I
Hmm.
would like you to address that positive responsiveness to needs because I think it's terrible if it's only one partner that's being responsive to needs and their needs are never met in return. I mean, what's your take on that?
So I'm getting used to that, right? Because I wasn't used to coming home or coming up to someone and them hugging me or greeting me with a kiss or happy to see me. Like it just kind of I'm trying to
It's disheartening. It's
it
disheartening.
is because I'm like, does he even like me? I would come home and the first question is what is for dinner versus now it's how was your day? Give me a hug, give me a kiss. I just want to see your face. Like that type of stuff. And I'm trying to take it in because I don't know how to receive it all the time. And then a lot of times I'm like, you're talking to me? Like you,
Which is,
me?
yeah, I get it. I get it.
And that is so important. And it
I
goes both ways. You have to be
Yes.
able to do that for your partner as well. You can't be the only one receiving all
It's
the
it's it's true. My cousin Lennon just joined and she said this is so relatable, ladies.
yeah, yeah.
Because I think that too many of us we go through this and we bear it in silence. And
Right.
I think the only way to break this cycle is if we as women come together and we talk about these things and we encourage each other because
Mhm.
I don't think that anyone should have to live this way. I
It
mean,
shouldn't.
I mean, I was married for almost 25 years and I refer to it as a prison sentence because
Ah.
that's how it felt. That is exactly how it felt, which is leading now to the
Yeah.
red flags because
Right.
I do believe the red flags are always there
They
and we
are.
and we choose to ignore them.
I
So
don't know where it's
let's
happening.
talk about disrespectful behavior. This is let's you're in a new relationship
Hmm.
and you see early on this person is being disrespectful. What would you say to the ladies out there if the relationship is if it's a new relationship and if he's being disrespectful early, then don't imagine what will happen the longer you're together. What's your take on disrespectful behavior?
Who? Run. Um,
I agree.
I ignored a lot of red flags.
Yes, me too.
I did. I ignored a lot of red flags, and he probably could say the same thing about me. But I would not waste too much time with someone that is disrespectful.
Move
Right?
on. Move on because
Move,
I think
move
with
on.
disrespect, in many cases, abuse is right around the corner.
Okay.
I think
I'm
that
glad you
abuse is
said that.
right around the corner. I think it's such a red flag. I'm about to read all these red flags that we need to be on the lookout for. Stop me if you want to comment on any of these, Nikki.
Okay. Okay.
manipulation,
Oh, Lord.
unwilling to compromise,
Mm,
refusing to talk about feelings, not
mm-hmm,
introducing you to family,
mm.
taking forever to return calls or text messages. There is always a power imbalance. They keep secrets. That's a huge one.
Yes, keep secrets.
Everything is about them. They
Mm,
never
okay, hold
apologize. Go
on.
ahead.
That
Go
one,
ahead.
that one, that I think jealousy plays with that,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And you have these narcissistic men
Yes. Yes.
that
Yes.
want everything to be about them. And once they see their partner moving up and they're stagnant, they
Yes.
also, that's when disrespect comes in as well, because
Yes.
they want you to be on the same level as them. So I'm
Amen.
sorry, had to put that with that.
Amen. No,
Okay.
I am
Okay.
glad you said that because there are some men that they don't want to see their woman flourish. There are
Mm-mm.
some men who have low self esteem. Now,
Mm-hmm.
it could be a woman that's behaving this way too, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about what we have experienced, you
Right.
know. And I think there are some men when they don't feel good about themselves. And heaven forbid if you feel good about yourself, they're
Right.
going to pull you down. It's like the crabs in the barrel. You try to get to the top and they're going to pull you right back down to the bottom of that barrel because they don't think you have the right to feel good about yourself.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm telling you, women, look
Look.
out for these red flags. Now, they never apologize. I think that's another big one because
Mm.
I think that shows a lack of respect. What's your take on that one?
Um, yeah, I can count on one hand how many times that man apologized.
That's
Like
a
I was
major
I
red
was
flag.
always apologizing. Oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry for starting the argument. Oh, I'm sorry I made you feel this way. Oh, I'm sorry I
But
I
after a
touched I
while, you feel like everything is your fault, right? You start
right,
to walk on eggshells
right.
and you believe that everything is your fault. I'm telling you, it's definitely common. Now
Yeah.
let's talk about the they try to belittle you with
Mm,
disparaging humor.
mm.
I've seen a few videos lately, Nikki, and you can tell me what you think about this, where when couples get married and they cut the cake
Oh yeah, I
and
don't want
you see these guys shoving the cake in the to me that's a red flag. The
I don't
marriage
like
will be
it.
over or they're smashing the woman's face with the cake, and to me that's a sign of a narcissist.
Mhm.
Look for the abuse that will come after that. I think that when a person, especially in front of other people, they're trying to embarrass you, run for the hills. What would you like to say about that?
I don't understand the whole cake smashing thing.
I don't get it. I don't get
I
it.
don't. I and you see people.
Yeah.
Don't
It's
smash
not
no cake in
funny.
my face because it that reminds me of Tina Turner.
Exactly.
Do not
Exactly.
smash that cake in my face. And when that day does come, do not smash that cake in my face.
I
We will
agree.
have
I
I
I
have an issue.
totally agree.
We can eat cake without having to smash it in each other's face.
That's right. And that's not the time or place. In fact, there's
Mm-mm.
never a time or place for that. That is so disrespectful on so
Yeah.
many levels. Another big one, they still talk about their ex. If you are with someone and they're talking about an ex, it's done. Don't waste your time. Don't allow anyone to do that to you because I think that kills your self esteem. What's your
Mm.
take on that, Nikki?
I don't know if I've ever had that happen,
Okay.
but I do feel like if you're talking about them, then you must still want them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
Uh,
it's a way of keeping you in your place. Like, you know what,
mhm,
be careful because if you're not careful, I'll go back to my ex because it
mhm,
makes you think, well, the ex wants that person back. I think
mhm.
that's very, very disrespectful. And
Yeah.
now another red flag is they are always critical of you. You're walking on eggshells. You're trying to be perfect for this person. It's like you're doing backflips. You're jumping through hoops because you want to please your partner. What would you
Absolutely.
say for that about, being criticized all the time?
Uh, I didn't like it. I 100% didn't like it because I would ask a question like, "Hey, should we do this or should I do this?" Give me an answer. And
Yes.
then when it doesn't turn out right, it's my fault.
Yes.
After I consulted you about it, it's my fault. And now I'm all these names. Okay, sorry. I'm
That's okay.
stupid. I'm dumb. Miss
And no
Bree, are
woman
you
should
still
have
there?
no woman should have to. Yeah, I'm still here. Can you
Uh
hear
oh.
me? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me, Nikki? I can hear you.
It went dang on song. Hello?
I can hear you.
Hang on.
All right, we're having another technical problem. Please bear with us. I appreciate your patience and understanding.
Sorry. I'm so
But I
sorry.
was hearing you. No, no, it's no problem, Nikki. It's
Every
no
time
problem.
somebody calls my phone, it
Oh,
knocks
okay.
the thing off. Um, but Lord, I lost track of what I was saying. Um,
We were talking about
okay,
them always being critical of you,
okay.
always the
So I'll
constant
give you an
criticism.
example, just a quick example. We stayed in an apartment that was, um, the roof was leaking, and I told the landlord, "Hey, you need to fix this." Wouldn't fix it. So I said to him, "Should I keep paying the rent? Should I keep paying the rent, or stop until they fix it?" He said, "I wouldn't keep paying the rent if they're not gonna come fix." Next thing I know, one day calling me, all our stuff was being put on the front lawn. So I get there and we're having to put our stuff in storage. And he's complaining to the people that's helping us put it in storage, calling me a dumb this, a dumb that.
Wow.
And I'm like, you the one said to stop paying it. I consulted you as my man. I consulted you before I stopped paying it. And you want to be upset because we got kicked out?
That is, let me tell you, I think it's very painful to experience that, which is leading to
Mm-hmm.
my next question.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we keep justifying bad behavior?
I
It's
don't
like
know.
when we're being treated badly, but it's like, oh, he didn't really mean that. He was upset. He was angry. But you know what? He's not always like that. I mean,
Mm.
let's be honest. I mean, poor behavior is poor behavior. Bad treatment is bad treatment. Why do we as
Mm.
women tend to justify bad behavior?
I don't. I think we just don't want to deal with the embarrassment
Yeah,
of
it's true. We don't want to admit
knowing.
to what we know is right in front of our faces, right?
Yeah, right. Because I did the same thing. Oh, he wasn't raised that way. He doesn't know what being loved is. Maybe I could just continue to give him love and he'll change. Like those type of.
And I think what happens as time goes on, our self-esteem
It's
diminishes with
gone.
each
It was
day.
gone.
We need to put that love into ourselves.
Yep.
That's one of the biggest lessons I have learned. Like, I believe a person is showing you their true character.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that we have to learn to accept the truth, which is hard to take, which leads to the next question: loneliness within the relationship. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think there's anything tougher than being in a relationship and being lonely. I know that's how I felt throughout my marriage. I was a very lonely individual.
Yes.
What's your take on that? Loneliness in a relationship?
I felt that before. I felt that before. Um, it's a very hard feeling
Yes.
to know that you're with someone or you're say that you're with someone and you still feel lonely. You you don't feel understood. You don't feel loved.
Yes.
Any of that. It's just so hard. And why we stay, I don't know.
I think many cases, I can say for me, I can speak for myself, low self esteem,
Hmm.
I didn't think I would find anyone else. I'm thinking
Right.
I'm too old to find a new relationship. You know, I found so many ways to tear myself down. So I think we just don't think we deserve any better for the most
Right.
part, you
That
know.
that is true. That is true. I told myself that I don't want to start over. Uh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I've been with him so long.
Yeah.
I it's just gonna. I have to learn somebody new. I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
I don't
and,
do it.
and so many of us are guilty of that. I would
Hmm.
like to say, I'd also like to mention something that we really need to pay attention to is when there is no talk of the future. This
Mm.
guy is never talking about the future. He's not talking about an engagement or a marriage, or he's not talking about when we grow old together, when we have children,
Hmm.
things of that nature. So, what would you say to the ladies out there who think they're in a relationship, but there is no talk of the future?
Don't do like I did and be engaged for 9 years. Okay? Don't do it, because if they are saying marriage is marriage is just a trap,
Oh, right.
marriage
I've
is
heard
just
that.
a piece of paper. Why do you need a piece of paper to be married? Um, anything like that.
That person is not looking at you because have you noticed there are
Mm-mm.
people who have been in relationships for like 10 years,
Hmm.
never got married, and the minute they break up, that man
Hmm.
marries someone that he
Oh,
met months ago. It happens so often, and that's a slap into the face to
the
the woman
damn
that
slap in the
waited
face.
for you, because you're thinking, well, why her and not me? What was wrong with me?
Those
And
were
there
all
was
the
nothing wrong.
questions.
But these are things, I'm saying this to women because look, face the truth and move on
It's-
with your life.
yeah,
Because don't compare yourself to this other person. Because at the end of the day, don't think that this other person won first prize.
right.
Trust me
Because
when
they
I tell
definitely
you,
didn't. They're
her
probably going through
time
the
is
same thing.
coming too, right? No, we have to be wise. We
Yeah.
really do. Now let's talk about knowing when it's time. Okay, Nikki. I think we're having another problem with Nikki's phone. Please bear with us. Okay, Nikki's trying to log back in. Okay, here she is.
Sorry.
All right, no
Lord.
problem, no problem. Hey, things happen. Things
Yeah.
happen.
Okay, so back what I was saying. If you are with someone, a man, they say a man knows within the first year
I agree.
if he wants to marry you, if he wants to continue to be with you. If you find yourself going 2, 3 years and you don't have a ring,
Move
then
on. Move
yeah,
on.
move on, and that's not, marriage is not for everybody.
It's not. And
It's
wouldn't
not
you
for
rather
everybody.
walk away than be with someone who honestly you had to force him to marry you?
Yeah,
Because that will never be a happy marriage. And I think,
no,
you know deep down in your heart when it's time to leave.
Mm.
You may be afraid. I remember being afraid because I was married for, like I said, almost just about 25 years. I was
Mhm.
afraid to go back because I had to go back in the workforce. There were so many things I had to do, and I was in my early 50s. But
Yes.
by the grace of God, God saw me through that time of my life.
Yes, he
Don't
did.
allow fear to keep you in a miserable situation.
And that's exactly what I did. I should have listened to his mother. His mother told me to leave
Yeah.
him. She told the first time I told her that he put his hands on me, she said, "You need to leave him because he
Yeah.
should not be putting his hands on you." And I did not listen. I did
It's
not
hard.
listen.
It's hard because you know what? When we think with our hearts instead of our
Hmm.
mind, I think
Hmm.
it's really hard. And especially when you really believe that you were in love, I
Yeah.
think it's a process because I know it took me 20 something years to finally trust me. I wanted to leave from the very beginning, but I just didn't. I honestly didn't have the courage to do it, which
Uh,
leads to self-worth. Do
yeah.
you think as you become aware of yourself as a woman and
Mm.
you know that you are valuable? I'd like to welcome Dr. Joan T. Randall. Thank you for tuning in, Joan. As you become aware of your worth and of your value,
Hmm.
I think the more you know who you are and what you're worth, it gets hard to put up with the nonsense.
Mm.
Or you're not
Yeah.
so willing to deal with that anymore. What's your take on that, Nikki?
For me, honestly, once I had my daughter, my first daughter, I started looking at things differently.
Yes.
And it and honestly, it still wasn't enough to make me leave,
Yeah.
but I did things differently, and I think he got jealous that I was giving more to my child than him. So
Yes.
that caused issues as well. Um, but I was like, I gotta be a good example for her. Like
Yes.
I used to tell her, do not let a man talk to you like that.
Yes.
But how could I tell her that and I still allow her dad to talk to me like that?
I get it. I
You know?
listen. So many of us have had that experience. Look,
Hmm.
it's not an overnight journey. You
No.
know, coming to that place where you know, okay, I deserve better. Even when
Hmm.
we know it, it still takes a while to take those steps. But I'm sure having your daughter and then having your second daughter, it really gave you something to think about.
Well, especially with the second one, because me and him were no longer together then.
Okay.
So I did that whole pregnancy by myself. So, and then finding out that he had been cheating for 3 years
Wow.
with someone else, and she was pregnant the same time I
Oh,
was. I
that's
was
not
like,
easy.
I would never want my kids to go through something like that. And I even asked him, I said, as a man, would you want your kids to date somebody like you? What you mean? Would you want them to be with somebody like you? Because I damn sure don't want them to be with no man like you. If I have anything to do with it, they would not be with a man like you. I said, you are supposed to show these girls how a man's supposed to love a woman, and you can't do that
Yes.
because you're not right. Of course, me saying that to him, he starts saying all these things about me, and that's fine. You can talk about me now. It doesn't hurt my feelings anymore because I've
Because
gotten
you
to
know
that
who
point.
and what you know
Yeah,
who and what you are, and you've done
yeah.
a fantastic job raising your girls, which
Mm.
will lead to my next question: emotional immaturity. When a man is emotionally immature, we can't laugh it off. I'd like to welcome my friend Carol. Thank you for tuning in, Carol. We may try to make a joke about it, try to
Mhm.
make excuses for it, but it's another red flag.
It
It's
is.
another red flag. I mean,
It
what's your
is.
take on that?
Um, I feel like if a man cannot express his emotions without being upset, like if only time he can express it is when he's upset about something that you did, then That's that's not good at all.
No, it's
Because
not.
why does it take for you to get upset for you to tell me something that has been bothering you from months ago?
Yeah.
You should be able to tell me. We should be able to have an adult conversation. We both need to be emotionally intelligent to be
Yes.
able to sit down and have a conversation. This is bothering me. This is what I don't like. Can you stop doing this, please? Or something. Why wait till you get upset to want to ramble off all these things that you're upset about?
That's what happens. And to me, I think that creates a lot of confusion. It leaves you feeling frazzled all the time. And
Mhm.
in my opinion, it's simply not worth it. I'd like to talk about unrequited love. When you're the one giving all the love, and deep down this person does not love you.
Right.
Friends with benefits. They used to talk about it all the time, oh, we're just friends with benefits,
Mm.
or you're locked in the friend zone. I would like to challenge the women out there to look in the mirror and ask yourselves, do you believe that you deserve to be treated that way? I
Mm.
believe that if a person is telling you that, you know what, there's someone else, or I don't want a commitment, then just have a friendship. But don't tie sex into it or any type of physical intimacy,
Mm.
because then what you're doing is you're killing your self esteem. You're
Absolutely.
putting yourself in a trap that is
Hmm.
very hard to get out of, and it will kill your self esteem. Like I said, I'd like
Hmm.
you to touch on that, Nikki.
Okay, so uh I'll just say this about my past, right? I at times felt like I was promiscuous, right?
I think many of us have
Yeah.
been there. Many
Yeah.
of us have been
So I was that. And then my ex used to use that against me and say that's why nobody would want me
there. Let me
because
ask
I
you this. Let me
yeah.
ask you this, not cutting you off.
Mhm.
And I want people to listen to this.
Mhm.
There are a lot of men that they will sleep with a woman and oh, she's a hoe, she's a hoe, she's a hoe. But
Mhm.
did they stop to think when that woman slept with them, she was seeking a connection, she was seeking love. She wanted a relationship. She wasn't lying with you because she's promiscuous. And if
Mhm.
the woman is promiscuous, well, what does that make you? Because
Mhm.
I've seen that happen to a lot of girls in high school.
Mhm.
Guys tell them what they want to hear, sleep
Mhm.
with them, and then badmouth them behind their backs. And I
Yeah.
think that men who behave that way, they should be ashamed of themselves. So,
Mhm.
look, a lot of us as women, we have fallen short in that area. I have been there. But
Yeah.
you know what? We worked with the tools that we had at the time. When
Mhm.
your self esteem is low
Mhm.
and you want love, like that song said, looking for love in all the wrong places,
Definitely.
you
Definitely.
know, and it
Definitely.
has nothing to do with, we've just made poor choices.
I definitely made a lot of poor choices. I did. But I said to him, how can you say this about me when you were the same way?
Yeah,
Like, what does that make you? You're a woman. You should take better care of yourself. That's your temple. But it's the same thing for you.
it's no different for the
It's
man.
no
To me, if
different.
you're laying with
It's
that woman, you are no
it
better.
it's no different. So I now with this one, I did not lead with that because I had been celibate for a year before meeting him. And
Yes,
I told him this. I said, I'm on a celibate journey. If you cannot take that, then that's fine.
yes,
Yeah, and he told me it was fine. And before we even became intimate, we had talked maybe 4 months, 5 months, but before even becoming intimate, because I told him that I was trying to not start a relationship off of that. Because if you base
yes,
it off of that, that's all it's going to be. And
yes.
that fades, that runs out because you're not truly with that person because of time, conversation. It's all about, oh, let's get into bed.
Right. That is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. So, I'd like to talk about now, you know, accepting the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because that, I think, is the toughest thing to do when you're in this kind of relationship. And you know in your heart, this person does not give a damn about me. I need to move on. It is so hard. I think
It's very
back
hard.
to when my marriage was over, and I tell you, I remember I went through a phase where every day I listened to Teddy Pendergrass, and I listened to Teddy Pendergrass, and I
Absolutely.
listened to because it's like I wanted to hear the words that I wish I would have experienced in the marriage. But
Mm-hmm.
as I listened to Teddy singing, I realized that was not my experience then. And with this individual, it never will be. And I remember sitting down one day and I just had to make up my mind. You're not going back this time. There are no excuses. Yes, it's scary and all of that, but
Yeah.
I believe I'm worth so much more than that. It was tough. I won't lie to you. It was tough, but facing the truth, it did set me free. What would you like to say about that, Nikki? Being honest, accepting the truth.
I have to say that and I say this wholeheartedly because I do feel like I was very dumb in wanting to keep my family together, right? Even though he did what he did, I still, as a Christian, forgave him,
Yeah, I get it.
right? I forgave him. And even thought when he came to me wanting to work things out, thinking that it was actually going to do that. But in all actuality, he just needed me to help him with something and then threw me to the side again. You know what I'm saying? So that last slap in the face of him using me to help pay for something and going back to the person that he cheated on me with and had a baby with, it took all of that for me to finally say, I am so done.
But I
Like,
wouldn't say you
it's,
were dumb. I think as women being in love and you're
mhm,
still trying to see the best in your partner,
mhm.
but as painful as it was, because I think sometimes those painful lessons are the best lessons because we only have
Ooh,
to think back to them to know, no, I can't go back this time. So, was that last lesson, would you say it was worth it?
it absolutely, absolutely. And he still tries.
Yeah,
He still tries. Even though he's with this other person and I'm with someone else, he still tries to do things to see if he still has a connection to me. That and I told myself I closed all doors of feelings for him. And I even had to talk myself away from hating him
yeah, I get it.
from the whole situation because I felt like I gave this man everything of me to the point where I didn't recognize myself anymore. My friends didn't recognize me. Nobody recognized me because I have given everything to him. And for him to throw me to the side for, you
That's
know what I'm
painful.
saying?
That no,
And
I get it. That is very, very
it
painful.
took all that though. What I want to say to whoever's listening, whoever is in this situation, get out because it's going to drain you. And
Yes.
and and God did not put you here to be
Amen.
drained by somebody.
Amen.
He put you
Amen.
here to prosper. He put you here to be somebody's wife that's going to love you for
Yes.
you and not going
Yes.
to use you.
Yes. Yes.
He, and you have to believe that. You have to
Yes.
believe that in yourself. You have to have self-confidence. You have to. If not,
I
you will.
love that. I
Yeah.
love that, which is leading to raising the standard. Something I've shared on this podcast so many times is that the love of God helped me to learn to love myself. And after I came to love myself, I finally had a standard because I realized I never had a standard before. I think God's love, it showed me how I'm supposed to be treated, how I'm
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be loved. So I'd
Right.
like you to talk to the women out there about raising the standard.
It's not going to be easy, right? It's not going to be easy. I what is it? Is it Proverbs 31 with the Lord? I think it's Proverbs 31 when you're reading to about being a wife. Or
Yes.
yes,
You're probably
so,
talking about the Proverbs 31 woman.
yes,
Yes.
yes. So when I started reading that, I was like a whole light just went over, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And then I started getting into these uh Bible study groups and everything, and just listening to what everyone is saying. And you have to put time into yourself to
Yes.
raise that bar, to know exactly what it is that you want
Yes.
out of a partner, because you can't have what you need if you're not right.
It's true.
You have to get yourself right. Then you'll be able to find the person. You'll attract the person that you're supposed to have. Because if
Yes.
you're not right, you're going to attract dirt, right? You're going to attract dirt,
You'll keep
and
having the same
the
person,
same cycle
maybe a
over and over.
different face, a different
Yeah,
name, but it's going to be
absolutely.
the same person until we learn that lesson.
Right.
Nikki, I appreciate you. I appreciate your honesty, your vulnerability. I
Mhm.
appreciate everything about tonight's episode because I know it wasn't easy. I
Um,
would like to say to you, I am so proud of you. For those who have tuned in late, I met Nikki when she was a teenager. When she
yeah.
mentioned that she was 41, I'm thinking, oh my gosh. But Nikki was my neighbor. And I tell you what, I remember the day you left for boot camp. You, Demetrius, and I, we sat outside and we were talking about you leaving to join the military.
Mhm.
And I like I said, I'm very proud of you. I
Thank
hope
you.
you're proud of yourself.
I
You've
am.
done an amazing job. I enjoy
Yeah.
reading your Facebook posts. I was just very proud of you when you talked about going to Massachusetts and you were going
Mhm.
with your two daughters.
Yeah.
And I think you've set such a wonderful example for your girls.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you. And I hope that you will come back. I think
Absolutely.
this was a very forthright and honest conversation. I think
It
that
needed to be had. It
we
needed to
need
be had.
it needed to be
Yeah.
had. And I
Yep.
think we have all look, I'm old enough to be your mother.
Yeah.
I was still making these mistakes.
Yes.
It took
Yeah.
me a long time to learn. And as I told you, as I was preparing for this podcast, I came to a lot of realizations. I had a lot of aha moments. I'm
Mhm.
hoping that the viewers, women who have been in the situations that you and I have been in, I hope
Mhm.
this will be a wake-up call for them. I'm
I do
hoping that
too.
they will understand they are worthy, they are
Mhm.
of value, and they do not deserve to be treated like dirt. Do you have
Right.
any closing thoughts for tonight?
Oh, no, all I can say is keep God first.
Yes.
Um, he'll never steer you wrong.
Amen.
And when he gives you a sign that something's not right, listen to it.
Yes.
Because if you continue to ignore it, he's going to allow you to go through the struggle until you start listening.
Yes, until you
Yeah.
learn until you learn that lesson. Well
Right.
said. Well said. Thank you
Hmm.
so much. I did I really enjoyed this conversation.
Me too.
And I'd like to wish all the viewers a blessed week. And feel free to share this episode. And for those who watch the replay, please feel
Hmm.
free to post your comments.
Yeah.
Once again, Nikki, so happy to see you. So
Yes.
happy to see you. God bless and take care,
Thank you.
everyone, and good night.
Good night.